All right, so if you're a developer on Google Cloud, you've probably felt that itch, right? The need to move away from clunky manual deployments to something, well, something slick, professional, and totally automated. It's a path a lot of us go down, but man, it can be confusing. Today, we're going to lay out a clear roadmap to get you there. Let's dive in.
And this is exactly where it starts for so many of us. This quote from a junior dev on Reddit just hits the nail on the head. You've got all these tools, all these options. Where do you even begin? GitHub Actions, Cloud Build triggers, what's the right move? This is the exact question we're going to unpack today.
Okay, first things first. Let's talk about the main player in this whole story, Google Cloud Build. The easiest way to think about it is as Google's own native engine for automation. You basically hand it your source code and a to-do list, and it handles everything else. Running your tests, building your container images, you name it. It's really the workhorse of our entire pipeline.
So when we say a build, what does that even mean? Well, it's not some kind of dark magic, I promise. It's really just a simple 4-step cycle. You've got your code, you write a little configuration file, kind of like a recipe, that tells Cloud Build what to do. You submit it, and then boom, Cloud Build just executes all those steps for you inside these nice, isolated Docker containers. That's it. Simple, powerful, and you can repeat it over and over.
With that foundation in place, let's talk about the end game. What's our North Star here? We are aiming to build what's known as a GitOps pipeline. Now, this is the modern, best practice way of doing things, where your Git repository isn't just a place for code anymore. It becomes the single source of truth for your entire application and how it's deployed.
Now, to do this like the pros, you separate your world into 2 different repositories. First, you have the app repo. This is for us, the humans. It's where the team writes code. Then you have the environment repo, or env repo. And this one's for the robots. It only holds the deployment configurations, and it gets updated automatically by our pipeline. This separation is absolutely crucial for keeping things stable and under control.
And this right here, this is where the magic happens. Check out this flow. A developer pushes new code to the app repository. That push automatically picks off the CI, or continuous integration pipeline. Cloud Build runs tests, builds a new container image, and here's the key part. It automatically updates the deployment file in that second repository. Then that push to the environment repo triggers the CD, or continuous delivery pipeline, which deploys the new version to your cluster. It's this beautiful automated domino effect.
So this all brings us right back to where we started. Now that we know the ideal workflow we're trying to build, which tool do we use to kick off that first domino? Do we use GitHub Actions, or do we stick with Cloud Build's native triggers?
Well, here's the trade-off. Using GitHub Actions can feel simpler, especially if your whole team just lives and breathes GitHub. All your logic is right there with your code. The catch, though, is that you have to manage permissions from the outside world, from GitHub into your Google Cloud project. On the other hand, you've got Cloud Build triggers. This is the native all-in-on GCP solution. No external auth to worry about. The trade-off? There's a bit of a steeper learning curve. You gotta have a pretty solid grasp on how containers work in the GCP world.
Okay, so we've got our basic pipeline mapped out. But let's be real. A real-world professional workflow needs more than just the basics. So let's talk about the features you're going to need for things like visibility, security, and making sure this thing is actually reliable.
First up, you can't be flying blind. You have to know what your pipeline is doing. And Cloud Build has a ton of notifiers that can push status updates right to where your team already is, whether that's Slack, Google Chat, or it can even be set up to automatically create a GitHub issue if a build fails. That kind of visibility is absolutely key.
This is always the next question every team asks when they grow beyond a simple public-facing app. What happens when your build process needs to talk to a private database or a secure internal API, something that's not on the public internet?
The answer is private pools. See, by default, Cloud Build just runs its jobs in a shared environment out on the public internet. But for that secure access, you can create what's called a private pool. This gives your builds their own dedicated environment that can connect directly into your private VPC network. It's a game changer for securely accessing internal resources without ever exposing.
And for the highest level of security, you really have to know about provenance. I love this quote. Build provenance is your build's birth certificate. It's basically a verifiable cryptographic paper trail. It proves exactly what source code went into your build and what artifacts came out. Cloud Build can generate this for you automatically, and it's essential for meeting modern security standards like SLSA and proving your software hasn't been tampered with.
So, we've designed this powerful, secure, automated system. It's amazing, but there's one more critical, real-world thing we have to talk about: The cost. How do you run all this amazing automation without getting a heart attack when you see the bill at the end of the month?
First, you have to know your options. Google Cloud has a few different pricing models for the computers that power all this stuff. You've got your standard pay-as-you-go, of course, and some discounts if you commit to long-term use. But there's one slice of this pie, one particular slice that is an absolute superpower for CI/CD workloads.
And that superpower is Spot VMs. Think of these as Google's spare computing capacity, which they sell off at a huge discount. Now, what's the catch? Google can take that machine away with only 30 seconds notice. So you would never, ever run your main production server on one. But for a CI/CD job that can be interrupted and just restarted, they are absolutely perfect.
And when I say a huge discount, I mean up to 91%. This isn't just some tiny little optimization, it's a fundamental strategy for making your entire automated pipeline affordable enough to run, especially as you start to scale up.
So, to wrap up our talk on cost, here's your final checklist. First, use Google's billing tools so you actually know where your money is going. Second, pick the right size machines for the job. Don't overpay. And most importantly, use those Spot VMs and auto-scaling for any job that can handle being interrupted, which is pretty much your entire CI/CD pipeline.
So let's just recap the journey we went on. We started with a very common problem, this being confused by all the different tools. We found our solution with a solid blueprint, the GitOps model with a two-repository system. We looked at the key trade-off between the simplicity of something like GitHub Actions and the deep integration of Cloud Build triggers. And finally, we tackled the bottom line, how to optimize costs to make this whole thing practical.
So there you have it, a complete blueprint from that initial trigger all the way to advanced security and smart cost management. The only real question left is, now that you have the map, what's the very first step you're going to take to automate your next deployment? Thanks for joining me.